There were moments in the last two games that weren't bad, but you guys weren't able to string together enough of them, I guess, to win. This has been a different matchup, though, that's maybe brought the best out in your team in a lot of nights down here in San Jose. Do you look to that at all, or I guess how do you weigh sort of not getting the result over the last couple games with a pretty good budding rivalry of San Jose?
Well, we review the games that we played in LA and Anaheim, and there was a lot of good in those games. But we did come up short, and that's what it's all about when it's all said and done. Some of the opportunities we created in the offensive zone aren't finding the back of the net, where in our end it is, and that sounds like an observation or a quote from a coach when his team is losing, and obviously that is, but that's the truth, and we've got to turn that around here a little bit. And tonight against San Jose, maybe that will happen for us. As you mentioned, they bring out some of our better hockey, and they're usually very competitive games. They're in a fight, we're scrambling. Should be a good matchup.
Did you need more out of some of your bigger horses last night? You've got some guys that are in some lengthy slumps. I mean, McLellan's at 17 games right now, and Strome hasn't scored in 17. You're not asking him to be physical. Cassian, you gave him a chance in the top 9, was a little quiet as well.
Well, you know what, let's face it, it takes a whole team to get the job done. And you never like to single out individuals, but when some of those key players have gone that long, and it's not by intent, they're not delinquent with their intentions, it's just not going for them, and they need to do some things better. But the teams that are winning and having constant success are getting a lot more out of those type of players on a consistent basis. And I think when it does go for people like Strome and Lucic and some of the others, then maybe they'll get on the roll. I was impressed with McLellan in LA. I thought he had a number of opportunities, not so many last night, but he had good opportunities in LA, and usually that's an indication that you might be coming out of it. Now last night it was a little drier. But hopefully tonight's a night where one or two of those guys find a way to contribute, and the rest of the group continues to play. We've been able to get some goals from Kyra and Kajula lately, Shlepyshev, those type of players that maybe we don't count on quite as much. If we can keep that up, get our D involved in some of the offense, which is a little bit disappointing right now as well. So key players up front, the back end, and let's see what happens.
Speaking of Kajula and Andre Sekera, they both got bit last time with the puck. Are we to assume, based on one of the moves in the back end today, that Andre might not be able to go, and Kajula looks pretty hopped up on team?
Neither of them will play today, and they'll have to be reevaluated quickly when we get back tomorrow, obviously playing on Monday. So we'll see how they respond to their treatments and to their injuries, but they're not available tonight.
At the other end of the production scale, Connor McDavid, you always expect a lot from him, but it seems like he's almost trying to put the team on his back and will this team forward.
Yeah, that's a good observation, and he's doing that. He's trying to impose his will on the opposition and on our team, and trying to get guys to follow him, and that's what good leaders do. And I'm sounding like a broken record. But it's a question that's asked often, and it's an observation that's easy to make, that he's playing real hard. I think Leon's game's actually got a little bit better over the last little bit. So the upper echelon in the lineup is producing. It's that mid-range one that we talked about earlier. It's missing right now, and you can't win games without it.
Must be the frustrating part, because when your high-end guys are clicking at the best of their ability, that should be enough.
Well, you hope it is. You need secondary scoring, though. We can't count on Connor every night. You can't count on Leon every night. There has to be a second level of production. There has to be the ability to take the pressure off of those two, get the opposition thinking about some other players and adjusting to them. And it won't be long before those other two dry up, because the focus is just going to go solely on them. So we're striving to and pushing to get some other guys involved on the score sheet.
Talbot, back-to-back? Or
no, Montoya tonight.
Okay, thank you.